And it's touchdown after 17 hours of an extraordinary journey. NASA astronaut Sunita Williams has finally returned to Earth, and we're now being joined by former ISRO Chief S. Somanath on the broadcast. Sir, a very good morning to you. Indeed, a very good morning as finally Sunita Williams and the Crew 9 is back on Earth after facing 9-month-long ordeal. But help us understand, what are the challenges that lie ahead for them?
Of course, all of us know that living in space under microgravity environment really causes human body to change a little bit, especially when you are not having the force of gravity working against your muscles, your fluid flow. The physiological changes do happen in the body. This could be in the form of muscle loss, in terms of the percentage of the muscle content, or also it could be in the form of the bones also losing its density. So it makes the body really weak, and it requires adaptation over a period of time to recover the muscle strength as well as the bone density. As much as I know that this process could take some time of controlled physical exercises and other food routines. Possibly could revert most of those issues that will happen over long duration of stay. But some of the residual issues may remain. But many of the changes that are happening possibly has been documented and well under control in the astronauts' studies that have been done elsewhere. So this process will be the one which will be taking place for people who stay for long durations, including Sunita.
Right. Also, sir, India is also designing and executing its own Gaganyaan mission. So what lessons can India and ISRO take from this mission?
I believe that one of the important lessons that we must understand that this human spaceflight missions always pose a huge amount of risk. And the risk mitigation, including such scenarios, in case that you go travel in a space vehicle and get in the situation that you are not in a position to come back, then what are the options that are left to you? And how do you really mitigate them? And if you have a space station like the Bharat Ambarish station that you are aspiring to build in the next few years, and in such cases also, we must have alternate options to bring them back. So we have our own space capsule, and one of the options which I should think that there must be second capsule available, always standby, in case that you get into problem with one of them technically, and they should be able to take the next one and travel back. And another option, of course, is to look at international cooperation in such rescue missions. And that requires collaborative working and standardization of interfaces, which includes the docking interfaces, electrical interfaces, commanding interfaces, and many, many others. And requires working with them to make sure there is a global standard. And this is essential, not for India alone, but for many other nations, to create a reasonable amount of standards for mutual operation in case of rescue. But there are instruments available for crew rescue. But then coming to space, of course, everybody goes with their own proprietary design, which makes interoperability one of the huge challenge, which I believe should be addressed in the due course of time.
Right. Mr. Somnath, also a mission that was meant for 8 days ended up being 9 months long. So how do astronauts, mentally prepare themselves for extension of this magnitude?
They are already, very capable people. They are not astronauts just by destiny alone, but they have prepared themselves very well in terms of training and psychological preparations to handle such issues. And that enables them to stay for much longer time. For this case, Sunita Williams, she's a veteran, in fact. She stayed there for much longer periods in the past. So it's not new for her. Only issue here being that you travel for a shorter duration and ended up for a longer duration. But in many other cases, they plan for longer durations. But like Sunita Williams, there were other astronauts as well who stayed for much longer duration than originally planned. So these are issues which they are trained to handle. But you look at the scenario today, the International Space Station is a very equipped place. They are getting replacement cargoes, waste disposals, and living quarters of very comfortable, reasonably comfortable, and not like Earth-like environments which enable them to understand and then live for a long time. And they are also a company of people. It's not, they are not stranded alone for a long time. Loneliness is a major issue in space. But in this case, it is not so. So I do not see as a serious challenge. But of course, keeping it suspense for a long time could be a challenge for anyone.
Absolutely. Mr. Somnath, what could this successful return of Sunita Williams and the crew mean for the inspiring future astronauts?
Sunita Williams having a connection to India, being a lady, it creates such a nice feeling for all of us. For her to endure such a long duration space mission, to be a pioneer in testing a new spacecraft with all its associated risks, like the Boeing Starliner, she volunteered to work with them and then take the first mission. It's a huge salutations to her. And then knowing very well the risks associated with such missions. Enduring such long duration space should endure many, not for Indians alone, but for the whole world. I think such daredevil acts of human beings are only made space journey and missions to space possible in the past, and will continue to inspire for us as well as for the whole world.
Right. Mr. Somnath, thank you so much for speaking to Mirror Now and sharing all those details and insights. And so that was former ISRO Chief S. Somnath talking exclusively to Mirror Now on the successful return of Sunita Williams and the crew